my gosh, guys, Nintendo profits are down 70%. Call the ambulance. Nintendo's dead. I mean, it's not like an 8-year-old console is, cause of that or anything like that. Oh, wait. Nintendo's doing just fine. Suck it up, people. These titles are clickbait for that particular reason. Yeah, an 8-year-old console is not selling as well as it used to when literally everyone has a Switch. And to my knowledge, the Switch is like the 3rd best-selling console in existence. Yeah, no wonder profits are down, especially because we know the next Switch is going to be coming out, or at the very minimum announced next year in fiscal year 2025. Like, we know this already. Why in the world would anyone be like, oh my gosh, sound the alarms and everything? Seriously, are you guys crazy? I mean, geez, if we want to even look at this little headline right here. 69, nice, Nintendo published Switch games have sold more than 1 million copies. I'm sure Xbox and Sony would love to get some of that right there. Just look at these, even niche little games like Astral Chain and the Metroid Prime Remaster, which I personally love to death. Those are selling over 1 million copies. Heck, you want to see something that is absolutely crazy? Okay, remember this game, Mario Strikers, was actually pretty popular back in the GameCube days and everything. It's got mediocre reviews, it's not exactly doing the greatest or anything. Yeah, guess what? 2.5 million sold right there as of March 2023. Last I checked, what is it? Oh yeah, it is August 2024, which means it's probably close to 3 million. This shows that Mario sells, right? And again, it's on the Switch. Everyone's got a Switch. Your mom has a Switch. Your kid has a Switch. Your cousin, nephews, uncles, cousins, twice removed on your mother's side has a Switch. Everyone has a Switch. And guess what? The sales are doing just fine. Are they looking as good as they were a couple of years ago? No, because guess what? It's near the end of the Switch's lifespan. They still have a good amount of games coming out and everything. But anytime I see this, I'm just like, seriously? I just have to then go to this and look at the sales. I mean, heck, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is on the top sales chart every single month. And that game is, what, technically 10, 11 years old because it came out on the Wii U? If we only want to go buy Switch, been out for 8 years, and it's still in the top. This is ridiculous when anyone sells that Nintendo is dying and we see that, oh my gosh, it's dropped by this much. It's pure clickbait, essentially, isn't it?
I've taken to the stance recently, and this is just me, and I'm not trying to upset anybody, but let's look at it this way. Let's be realistic. PlayStation is struggling more than they have in the past 10 years or so, and Xbox, like, they have been on the struggle bus for 10 years. So a lot of fans of those systems are like in mad cope mode right now because their favorite system is not doing well. And who continues to do well? Who continues to do well is Nintendo, right? So it's like the wild thing is that you see a ton of people going like this, like obviously Nintendo's terrible. And it's like, I don't understand it because Nintendo has just like always been the bringers of joy, at least for me, I don't know about you guys, but like I just enjoy Nintendo and their products and they make good games. And that's like really the biggest thing. And the other thing is they were smart enough to realize, hey, maybe we shouldn't get involved in this graphics arms race because it costs a ton of money. But yeah, Mario pulls, like you said, Tallen. Mario sells. There's no question. Like Mario Odyssey has sold what, like 25, 30 million copies. Mario Kart has sold tons of copies. Mario RPG, which has always been like a really niche game, that sold like 3.5 million copies almost.
I always have to remind people, okay? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, right? We have not seen a new Mario Kart game since the Wii U, right? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is sitting at a lovely 62 million copies sold. Just gonna put that out there right there, right? They went like 3 to 4 years of no DLC, no updates, no nothing. We finally got those map packs over the last couple of years, and that game still sells like hotcakes. Animal Crossing, 45 million. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, 34 million. Breath of the Wild is at a nice 32 million right there. Super Mario Odyssey is at 28. Like, the numbers are right there, folks. I mean, heck, even a quote-unquote mediocre, shocking 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10s aren't real. They can't be good games. Mario versus Donkey Kong is sitting at a nice 1 million plus sales right there. Like,
is that the new one that just came out?
That's the new one. That is the new one that just came out. This game came out in, let's see here. Where am I not seeing when it came out? Back in February.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was early
February.
this year because I remember it being part of the thing last year, right? Where
Yep.
they were like, "Oh,"
Yep.
and everyone was like, "Who wants that? What?" It's like,
Well,
that-
apparently
that-
1,121,000 people wanted that game.
And you know what? That game probably cost Nintendo like $25-30 million to make, and they probably made
at most. That's
you
like
know,
that's like the B team,
65.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of in the line of like, because we've always said before, and a lot of people say as well, you know, games like Metroid and Kirby, right? They're kind of like the B team, right? They sell really well, they're really fun games, but they're not the Mario, the normal Mario, I should say, like the 2D Mario or 3D Mario. They're not the Legend of Zelda, like they're not the Pokemon, which I know technically Pokemon isn't made by Nintendo, but Pokemon is only on Nintendo, so you can kind of count. But regardless, they're kind of like the B team, and they're out here making million, no problem. Like, again, this game came out in February. It's August. Yeah, it hit $1 million, no problem. For their B team, and it cost them almost nothing to make. That's extra revenue right there in their pocket. I mean, heck, Nintendo last year, if I remember correctly, they released one of their games, like they pushed it ahead of schedule to release, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
right?
they did. I forget what game it was, but they absolutely
I think
did
it was
that
like,
word.
was it Xenoblade? It might have been Xenoblade, if I remember
It
correctly.
might have been Xenoblade.
Right.
It was something where they were just like, "Oh, you know what? This is actually done early." So
Yeah, I mean, and like I love this one right here, like Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, 1.8. Like everyone always looks at Kirby as like this childish little game, and I mean, it's Sakurai's. I believe that's the creator of Kirby.
Yeah, it's Sakurai.
Yeah,
yep.
Sakurai, right? The guy who does Smash Brothers, right? Smash Brothers is his baby. Kirby was his first baby, and Kirby still pulls in 1.8 million copies sold, no problem.
Yeah, because Kirby's just great. It's like it's a family-friendly thing.
It's a family-friendly, just fun. I mean, heck, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is an older one, 7.5 million copies. Last I checked on that one was sitting at like 3 million, I think, or something like that.
That's wild.
Just jumps an extra 4 million. Yeah, just like nothing, right? Yeah, no biggie, right?
Yeah.
And you have to remember, Nintendo games rarely go on sale. Rarely go on sale.
That's the other thing too with Nintendo as just a console maker, right? That a lot of people don't understand is that you see the Switch, you see the numbers, and you see like everything that they've done for, you know, just that console, and people are going like, oh, they're not going to make it. They're not going to outsell PS2. They're not even going to beat the DS. And like one of the biggest things that people don't think about is that they've never had a discount on it yet, a widespread discount. And if they came out and were like, hey, Switch 2 is out, but the Switch OLED is going to be $249 now, or if they really wanted to, they could just make $229. And you know, what's the other one? The Switch Lite, like they go, Switch Lite is going to now be $149. Like
well, I guess I'm going to be seeing more
easily
Switch Lights on the train going to work every day. Like,
yeah. 100%.
And like when you say, like, and I know some people are going to see comments about like, you know, oh, it's not selling as well as Tears of the Kingdom. First off, you really expected something like Thousand Year Door to sell as well as Tears of the Kingdom? Like, really?
Yeah.
You
like,
really think that's going to
expect
happen? That'd be like saying, oh, I expect GTA and then like Avowed to sell the same amount. Like, really? Like, what are you trying to compare here? So, I mean, again, when you see little things like this, like whilst the latest quarter period saw 2 more million sellers in Paper Mario: The Thousand Doors and Luigi's Mansion 2, it couldn't compete with last year's Tears of the Kingdom, which sold more than 10 million copies in the first 3 days alone. Okay, first off, you're trying to compare Tears of the Kingdom versus 2, we'll call them B-tier games, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Second, it's the end of the Switch's life. We're coming up on the last couple years of the Switch's life.
Yeah, and remember that like Tears of the Kingdom is literally the one of the most anticipated sequels of all time. It is a sequel to the best-selling Zelda game of all time. The Zelda game that sold more by itself than the rest of the franchise combined.
Let's just leave this 32 million right here on screen for everybody. Like just right there, 32 million.
And then you got Tears of the Kingdom that in a year has sold like 22 million. It's like, okay. And you know, there was a big thing that came out that was like, oh, Breath of the Wild outsold Tears of the Kingdom. Well, it's probably because people have heard about Tears of the Kingdom and are like, oh, well, I guess I should play the first one, which doesn't really matter.
I want to do something. So Breath of the Wild was released in 2017. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at games 2017. What other big games came out during that? Resident Evil 7,
Odyssey.
Biohazard, Mario Odyssey came out, which is just another Nintendo game, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Horizon Zero Dawn. So you know what? Let's look at Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Dawn. sales. Same time it came out, same kind of open world-ish type of game, right? As of right now, you're sitting at 24 million units. That's great for Horizon. But
for
keep
a
in
new
mind,
IP, that's really good.
For a new IP and everything. But keep in mind, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC. What is Zelda on? Nintendo.
Yeah. Which is what's so crazy.
Right.
Like when people try and downplay how good Nintendo is at video games, they're just like, I feel like it's like a slap in the face to probably the greatest of all time, right? Like I don't think anyone can realistically argue that, like, you know, I guess if you're COD and Fortnite brained, you know, because like that's all you played, sure, like, oh, Nintendo doesn't make things for me because I like Warzone and Fortnite. It's like, okay, but I grew up playing like Super Mario World and Super Mario 3 and, you know, the original Legend of Zelda and Link to the Past. Like, I would rather play those games that are going on 40 years old than play Fortnite anymore, you know? Like, that's just me personally, but there's a lot of people out there like me. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that play Fortnite and Warzone, but like the people who just want to play a fun, like family-friendly game, like when I was, you know, involved with a woman who had children, we would all just play Mario and stuff together, right? And it's like I could go play like Fortnite when it was new, or we could all sit down and play Mario and like Mario Party or Mario Kart or Mario like new Super Mario Brothers 3 or something, because the games are made for everybody.
Exactly. And I mean, as we said before, Mario alone, Mario sells. Mario Wonder, which everyone thought was going to get completely trounced due to last year because 2023 was a big, huge year and everything like that. Let's see where Mario Wonder is sitting right now. Oh, look at that. 13.4 million copies sold in less than a year. I'm pretty sure a lot of publishers and big companies would love to have those type of numbers by now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Sony would love to see that on every game, you know.
Right, exactly. And keep in mind, Mario Wonder probably costs like I would, if I had to venture a guess, I'd say Mario Wonder at the most costs 70 million to make, probably.
Yeah,
just taking a wild guess. Obviously, we don't have the books. No, like we don't know. The only reason anyone ever knows prices about particular games is because someone gets hacked or something like that, unfortunately, right? But yeah, I guarantee you, it costs way less than a majority of the games being made in the last few years. And I'm sure the Mario movie obviously helped, maybe with some finances and everything, because Mario movie did amazing. Pretty sure it hit $1 billion. And anytime I see these things, it's like, first off, no duh. Sales are going to start coming down on the Switch because, again, everyone has one. We're about to enter into the next Switch, the next console lifespan. That's totally normal, right? But again, got this list right here, guys.
Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! I want all of you to look at it!
Nothing else needs to be said. Nothing else needs to be said here. And if anyone is ever, if you ever find someone just like just trying to downplay how good Nintendo stuff can be, because you get to remember, us here at Direct Gaming, we play all games. PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. We play them all. We play them all. But if anytime I ever see someone try to downplay Nintendo, I'm just like, really? You're going to downplay that?
I gotta say, like, Nintendo's been doing it longer and better than everybody, and they will continue to do so because they know how the industry works, and they know, like, you think any other company could have survived after the Wii U? No other company would have survived.
They learned from the Wii U. That's the thing, right? Because I know there's gonna be a comment saying, "Well, the Wii U." It's like, yeah, Wii U was terrible. We know that. They learned from it, and look where they are now.
Yep.
Best years. Like, there's literally, the Switch is literally their best years right now.